Alright, welcome to the World of Warships with Captain Yamo. I'm your host, Captain Yamo, and this is the Tier 6 Japanese battleship, the Fuso, or as I like to call her, the Gojira. She has a mighty roar. She goes, "Eeeeee." We'll let her sound off right now. Who's around me? I got that Congo. Okay, we're gonna get near the Congo. I want a little air cover. Look at this squadron floating in on the side here. You know, I I'm wondering what you get out of this game. So for me, and I think I've described this before, this reminds me of being a kid and having toys and a good imagination. I had particularly with World of Tanks, I had some little tiny tanks. They were die-cast metal. They were pretty cool. The tracks didn't move or anything like that, but they had little tiny wheels that did move. And I would play with these tanks. I know for sure I had a little Tiger die-cast, and I had a M4 Sherman. And then there was a couple other tanks, and I would play with them in the dirt and all that other good stuff. Look at that, nice. And I was the last one to load, and I got the first hit. I'll take it. I'll take it. I always do. Anyways, and and I'm talking about like when I was 5, so this would have been almost 1980 or so. The World War II tanks. I think I got them from my uncle or my grandparents or somebody like that. 2 kills, okay. And so I would play with these things in the dirt, because that's what we had back then in the late 80s. We had the dirt, and then soon after that the Atari VCS. But no, actually, we think we already had that one. And I could tell that some of the tanks just looked tougher. They had a bear gun, or they just looked cooler. And so in my mind, they took on some of these characteristics, and I was almost absolutely wrong. I was probably wrong about which one was the toughest or the best. Man, I wish somebody on my team would do some killing. And so I would sit there in the dirt and play with these, and then I had a couple of World War II ships that I also like to play with. And he's turning away. And it gave me, it was a lot of pleasure. And because they were all different ships, or ships, now I'm talking about ships, because they were all different tanks, they had, some looked faster, some looked slower, some looked like they had better guns or whatever. And that's how I played with them. And it made me a happy little boy. Or my imagination made me a happy little boy, and having those toys to kind of focus my attention on, was good. I think I've seen that guy before. Anyways, of course, with the rise of video games, here look, I can KS somebody else now. Or try. Nope, that's going down. Somebody got a kill on my team besides me, so right on. And of course I with like most of the kids in the 80s, I totally got into video games. And first person shooters for a long time were my absolute favorite types of games, because it was competitive. Maybe not like esports competitive type, but they were competitive. And you got to put your wits, and your abilities against other players. But some of the things that would frustrate me about some of those games were things like, everything was the same. You have a gun, they have a gun, and everything operated the same. 6.5, 7. So some of the interesting things that changed as time went on. You started to get into more and more advanced games. You'd get more and more classes. He's gonna disappear on me. But that New York. Nope, he's behind that island. He'll clear it in a minute, and I'll hit him at about 5.5, I think, is where he needs to be hit. And so you'd get these perks, and you'd get different weapons, and the way you play the game started to change. And so of course there were always overpowered weapons or classes, but it was just a part of the game. It was part of the game metric, and if they had it, you could have it too. And so knowledge of the game could help people, bridge that kind of a gap where, where they had some kind of OP weapon, but it had to be used in a specific way, and because you knew how that weapon had to be used, you could still beat them. It wasn't easy, but you could do it. And that was another kind of thing that really got me into those games. But something that was always pretty disappointing to me with those games was the high twitch factor. And that's one thing that I think World of Tanks does a really good job of, if not eliminating, at least cutting down. I don't know who just hit me like that, but they're going to get a paddle in if I can find them. World of Tanks, you have these situations where there are OP tanks. You're in a tier 6 and you're going up against tier 8s or whatever. That's really your moment to shine. That's your moment to really figure out how to beat somebody who has all the advantages. And I love those kind of come from behind victories. I love matching my brain power against your brain power and trying to win. I love the competition. It's absolutely one of my favorite things. I'm trying to concentrate because this guy in the New York is just thumping me right now. It just shouldn't be happening. There we go. There's the New York saying hello. Can expect that from a tier 6. So now I'm going to start angling for the New York and try and take out this punk over here. So anyways, hi Sammy. So in World of Tanks, those are your moments. You're there and you're matching it, and you're overpowered, but you're doing what you can to come from behind. Phrasing. And so those are the kind of things that I really enjoy in a game. World of Warships continues that trend. Of course, it would be better if there were more ships, and there are some issues I have with it. But maybe I can get this kill too. Some of the things I get out of this are that these games really do minimize the twitch factor. The dispersion is the same for everybody if they're in the same ships, and dispersion affects everyone to some extent. The RNG, while it can be very frustrating sometimes, should be a part of the game. And so whether I am really good at these games or really poor at these games, I'm going to keep playing them. I know this for a fact. And I wonder how many other people kind of mirror that. I mean, I don't care if I ever get esport good at any of these things. That's not the point for me. Where was I at? That was probably, he's probably like a good solid 7. And so while the game meta can be frustrating sometimes, yeah, he's got him anyways. But I got 5 kills, all while recording and babbling away and paying requisite attention to the game. I think that it speaks more to the enemy team, their inability to work as a team, and it kind of speaks to my marksmanship in this match. I think it went pretty well. But tell me what you get out of this game. Why is this the game for you? Or I mean, if it's not the game, why is it a game that you spend time on? What do you get out of it? What are the factors of it that really make this a playable game for you? And let's go over our summary here. I'd like to hear about it, by the way, in the comments if you want to tell me. And hey, I know I always put a little thing that says, thank you for watching. I would like to say sincerely, anybody who does watch my videos, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. If you like them, you don't like them, let me know. And if you don't like them, let me know why you don't like them. That might help me. Anyways, we got almost 280,000 credits, 3,035 XP. We had, I don't know what this one is. Let's see. Oh yeah, First Blood, we had the Kraken Unleashed, and we had Devastating Strike. We had 42 hits. We had 3 enemy aircraft shot down, 1 incapacitation, 5 ships destroyed, and 3 Citadel shots. So it was a pretty good match for me. And look, I wasn't even on top. Look at that. Nice job, Clemson. I bet you that shooting wasn't the finest, but I made them count. Yeah, 44 for 216. That's under 20%. That's not great, but you do the best you can, right? So we did almost 74,000 points of damage with our AP. We sunk our fangs into a lot of the enemy hindquarters, deep into the hindquarters of evil. We took 35,000 points of damage, mostly from that New York. Nice job to him. After repair and refit, we got 271,000 credits. So we got a $250,000 credits into our account there, so nice. And we, with the premium bonus, we got up to 1,958 XP times 1.55, and the extra the 1.5 is for the first victory of the day in the Fuso, and the 0.5 is for that American flag I'm running. We were able to haul in 3,035. The captain in the Fuso is just gonna get buffed up pretty quick like that. So I'd like to thank you for joining me in the world of Warships and in the Gojira, and I hope to see you on the digital high seas. Say bye-bye. Want to say bye?